lovely people. Today I am playing on my Switch, which is a rare occurrence, but here we are. It's got my favorite character on it, which is this character, who I don't play nearly enough, but that's because the game is laggy. A hole punch. No! We're already starting like this. Not again! Not again! Okay. Gonna get this right, okay?
Yeah. I have complete confidence in you.
Just because you don't have confidence in me doesn't mean that I don't have. Actually, it totally means that I also don't have confidence in me. Just be quiet. You're not helping the situation at all.
I have not been trying to help the situation at all.
In my last video, actually no, it's not my last video because a video was released of me showing some snapshots of what was going on around me while I was live with Multiverse. So the preceding video, I will link it below. It's the one where we're celebrating 600 subscribers, which is also what we are doing today because we can't celebrate a milestone without creating a character. We all know this. I have an obsession. And we're going to indulge it today. In that video, these people who are on the Switch have put in the information that is required so that they can receive a nice code to get them the Future Crusader armor style set and 5 Proto Banker bots and 5 R&D scanners. So I'm going to give those people their code today. You won't see the code part though. We're not about code theft on this channel, okay? We give them out individually. So we're gonna give those codes out to those people and then we're going to create a character because, let's be honest, guys, I can't help myself. We're about to get a CR skip, so let's make a character where I can utilize it because basically all my characters on here are pretty high. I'm not going to have a use for the CR skip without creating a character. So let's start with the code giveaway. Shall we? Yes. Yes, we shall. You don't really have much of a choice here because I do all the thing. I can't hear you guys. That's why.
Yeah, but I can reorganize this video however I like.
I mean, I suppose that's true, but then you would have to adjust the timing of everything, and that's more work for you. You don't need that, that's too much.
I suppose.
You should just let me choose the order in which we do things,
No!
I need coffee.
Same.
I'm not supposed to drink coffee. It's not good for me. But I do anyway because it keeps me awake. That's probably not a good thing. You know what would be the remedy to all of this? Good sleep. That hasn't happened in a while, so coffee it is. I'm always in bottled, aren't I? The answer is yes. All right. Hello, Martian Manhunter.
Exobytes may come from Brainiac tech, but they
Yes.
will be crucial to his defeat.
I agree.
Maximize your exobytes by
Don't
salvaging
give
unused
Brainiac
equipment
a
at all.
Everybody talk over each other.
Take down his fortifications. Pronto.
I will, but it may not be pronto. Okay, so here's the problem. Do you see we're on Switch? I'm stuck at Jon Stewart right now. I am, trying to move. And here we are. So this is why I'm avoiding the Switch a little bit at the moment, because I can't do anything. Oh, there it goes, okay. And we can move, yay! It was making sounds like I was moving, I will say. Hi, Red Tornado.
Brainiac wishes to imprison sentient beings. We must free them.
That is so rude. Soon I won't be loading into this area, I'll be loading into Apocalyptian Gotham.
Brainiac's first line of defense.
Which is awesome. I've done those 3, I have. Okay, beautiful. Let's just let me do my stabilizer run because otherwise you know what'll happen? I'll just forget. We don't want that. Stabilizer, thank you. Done? Not done, started. Begun. Not really, just queued. Sometimes I queue up for it and it takes a while because apparently I'm, waiting on all the other players that are going into this solo with me. Ooh. Yay! Yeah, the only thing I've been doing with this character recently is stabilizer runs, and then on reset on a Tuesday, I'll quickly run the bosses in bottle. But that's about it. Occasionally I check my mail. My best friend, I think, plays a bit more than I do on the Switch, and occasionally he sends me bits of furniture that I love. So sometimes that's what's in my mail, which is lovely. Thank you. I sound like a giant child, I am aware.
Wouldn't you think if perhaps one were aware of such things, that one might take steps to remedy that situation?
I'm actually quite a few days behind on collecting my dailies on this character, I will say. I have missed quite a few days logging in, which is unlike me, actually. This would probably be the first week where I've missed so many. I'm a lot of days behind.
At the request of past Laura, I am leaving this entire load screen in just to demonstrate exactly how long it really takes for her. So we can all just take a brief holiday and come back later. How about a song? We're merry men of Skyrim, so sturdy and so stout. When the day is done and it's time for fun, we'll drink and sing and shout. You weak-livered milk drinkers can let your throats run dry, 'cause it's just one drink that we will sink until the day we die. Don't you judge me, Missy!
My little zappy rock character, creature, pet? Pet! That's the word I wanted. My little zappy rock pet is clearly zapping around me right now. I can't see him at all. See, if my best friend is watching, he always watches. This is how long my load screens are when you're just standing there waiting for me. This is what's happening. I won't, future Laura, please don't cut that short so that he can actually see, because goodness me, it takes a long time.
I did what you asked. I even provided some amazing music during that time, and you still gave me a face.
Is anyone else? It's a little more obvious why I'm not playing on the Switch at the moment, right?
Also, my mug is way cooler than yours.
At least Rocky seems to be having a nice time. Oh, we're here, finally. Ah, could have taken a nap. Okay, let's go. See what I mean? Furniture. A grass patch and a Wayne Manor rug, thank you. I don't belong to a massive league where people give me furniture to do my builds, so it's just him and I, and, you know, there's stuff that he knows I really, really want in multiples, because I need it everywhere, so thank you. Okay, I'm just going to add everybody who entered on Switch, so that it's quick and easy for me to send them their code. Oh, right. Okay, on the Switch, the keyboard is different. Friends, add player. Then we have to go from B to A because I invert my buttons. Ah! Okay, this is going to take me a minute because when I'm inside of the keyboard menu, I have to use the A button in order to use the keyboard. But then when I'm in here, I have to use the B button, which, you know, is a little complicated and annoying that it's different, but I would prefer it to be different because I'm the one who inverted it for the gameplay so that it would match my Xbox and PS controllers. And so I just have to deal with the keyboard. Normally I'm using, obviously, a handheld Switch, so I can use the touchscreen, which means I can do it quite quickly. But because I'm doing it on screen for you guys to be able to see what I'm doing, it's gonna be slow. So I'm just gonna get through them all. Just, future Laura, if you could do that thing where you, like, snap your fingers and everything goes fast, that would be great, thank you. And send. Yay! Okay, so Archer Dan has received his free code. Next we have Dynamite Boxer. I'm trying to keep my message quite short because of how irritating it is to use this keyboard. Sent! So we've got one left, which is, you know, the name that's awesome, but I can't pronounce it. Mandarinus? I don't know, but you're next. Sent! And that is all of the Switch people who entered codes given away thus far. People can still enter. I still have more, and not enough people have entered to be able to receive all of the codes. So I'm gonna have to do something so that people can get codes, you know? Oh, I forgot how touchy this controller is. It's so touchy. I do log on here semi-daily. I have missed a bunch of days on Switch this time, I'm not gonna lie. But I usually play the actual Switch. So the fact that I'm using a controller now means that it's kind of touchy, everything I do. It's much more sensitive than on Xbox or on PlayStation. So it's a little bit more fun to try to control, if you know what I mean. And this will actually be the first time I'm creating a character on the Switch using the controller instead of just having the handheld in my hands with the little Joy-Cons attached. So that's gonna be interesting. Let's pop my character to sleep. She's had a very busy day writing letters. It's not very busy. But we don't need you right now, all right? So we're going to log out with the correct button, this button. Not accidentally go back to my home screen of Switch. And we're going to switch character, yes. And then we're going to create one, of course. Okay, let's go to create a character. Ah! I love creating characters. It is so much fun. So much fun. Now, I don't know what I do and don't have unlocked on here, but as far as I know, I have much more styles unlocked on here than any other console that I've played before, but it has been a while. Okay, so today we're going to be creating Huntress, which you probably already are aware of because I'm sure I put that in the title. But I have only just decided this because there are a few different options of characters I have plans to create at some point, and Huntress is on that list, and I've chosen her specifically because on this console I already have one character that is Gadgets. Now, I know that she's kind of an anti-hero, so I feel that because I already have a Gadgets character on here that's a villain, I can probably create a Gadgets character on here that is a hero. I feel that she is more hero than villain. So, first we're going to scroll through, see if they have a Huntress preset, which will probably be wrong, as they so often are, but I also don't think they have one. Let's have a look. No. There is definitely no preset for Huntress, so that's my favorite, because I don't like using the presets usually. Also, why is Mera's lips are orange? Okay, alright, so, obviously, we meet a female character, thank you. I will apologize, this, even though we're in character creation, this sometimes also lags slightly, so it might just move a little bit slower. Can't do much about it. Okay, athletic is correct, medium is correct. No, she's going to be a hero. Thank you. Personality. I feel like, oh, primal. That's the one I couldn't remember the other day. My cat characters are standing in primal stance. Okay. I feel like powerful is the most accurate for her. Yeah, we're going to go with powerful. Her mentor, we're going to stick with Batman. Because reasons. Ability. Okay, so this is where I want to have a look. Gadgets is probably going to be it.
I've been clicking so much. If you were more entertaining, we wouldn't have to speed through.
Okay, the only one that I think is even close to being potentially usable is munitions, but I think Gadgets is way more accurate. So we're going with Gadgets for her. Her weapon is obviously going to be pistols. We need to get the pistols, particularly so that we can get her style of pistols potentially in game. I don't know if I have those available, but we shall see. We shall see. I think I do. On this console, I have every single ability and every single weapon covered. And movement. So I have everything. So most likely I will be able to unlock the pistols. Hopefully. Now, I feel that for an accurate movement for her, it should absolutely be acrobatics. But because I would like to keep some of the things that I have in my skill tree, I guess you could call it, unlocked from super speed, I'm going to give her super speed. When I jump into the game, I'm going to go to the Fate Vendor and I'm going to grab the item that lets her change her movement to acrobatics. So I will say, this is something I do quite a bit. Super speed just happens to be one of my favorites. It happens to have abilities and things in it that I find much more useful for almost every build. Not every. I think my rage characters do better with acrobatics, but I tend to grab super speed for them and then chuck on the item that allows their movement to change, particularly with characters that have flight. Up until this point when I've created characters for you guys, I have created the movement that I think suits the character best. Like Raven has flight and things like that. But honestly, I find the gameplay slightly more fiddly when I don't have super speed as an option with their tree, with the tree available for like Whirling Dervish and dash attack and things like that. Sometimes I use those on basically every character. So I find it a lot easier for playability for me to have them set to super speed and then put an item on them to change their movement to match the character that I'm creating. So I apologize if that's annoying for anybody, but yeah, I have found it when I've played Raven frustrating that I haven't got a couple of things in there that I would have liked if I had have chosen super speed. So I'm going to choose super speed just for my own playability, not for accuracy. For accuracy, acrobatics is the choice you should go with. But I feel if you can go to the Fate Vendor and grab the items to make their movement the way you want them to be, why not choose your favorite or the easiest for you to play and then chuck that on to make the movement make sense for the character every now and then? Because I am more likely to play super speed when I load into things than I am to play any other movement. So I would rather have that one as my main so that my skill points aren't wasted on something I'm not going to use. So I apologize if that annoys anyone. But yeah, that's what we're doing. Okay, it's appearance time. Let's go into costume. Skin, I feel is already accurate, isn't it? Human 1 skin is the most common skin for the female characters I find. We'll just stick with that, that's fine. Her hair, there's a couple of different iterations for it, but in most of what I've seen and the one that I prefer is definitely the long flowing hair that she has, because it's similar to mine. I will say my hair's a little shorter than it has been in the past, but I like long flowy hair. I like it on me, I like it on the characters, so if it's accurate, I'm gonna put it in, which I am. Although I do think that once I get into the game, I'm most likely going to swap it over for a different one. Probably Magician would be my guess, but we'll have a look when we get in there. She wears a hood. One frustrating thing I find is some of the hoods don't let the hair be seen the way I would like it to be seen, but let's find it.
I'm drinking coffee, and you're still making me fall asleep.
No, that's more Raven-like. Maybe the Runed might be the closest. No, there should be another, I think. Hang on. Runed is the closest. Okay, we'll go with the Runed hood. Neither one of them is particularly accurate, but I'm not going to choose nothing if I can help it. I may remove it once we're in there because she doesn't wear it very often, but I don't want to choose nothing when I know there's something that could suit one of the styles that I will make for her. Because we all know I'm going to create multiple armories of this character with a bunch of styles because I can't help myself. This is how I am. So, face. Let's see if we can find a piece that works. I actually think there is one in here with the large spike pieces across the front that I have used when I created Batwoman in the past. That one. Valiant. Okay, so we're gonna grab that. Does look stupid with the hood. Like I said, I'll probably remove the hood, I'm not gonna lie. Alright, an emblem. Does Huntress have an emblem? She has like a circle that looks kind of like wings with a blade through the middle, right? I think. So, we'll try to find something similar. Or at least something with a sword, I guess. If we can find that, that might be close enough. Oh! That's kind of the shape. I mean, that's not too bad. I know it's 2 axes, but it has the 2 shapes on the side and then the section down the middle that kind of looks like a blade. Let's keep double axe in mind. That was, like, slightly convenient. I think that's probably what we're going to have to go with, because I don't think anything else is going to be close enough. Oh, no. It's a lot of chess piece options, isn't there? Double axe as it is. Alright, well, it's as close as we're going to get. I will say it's closer than a lot of the other ones for other characters when I've tried to create them from scratch here. Sometimes I can't find anything relevant. That one wasn't bad. I don't mind that. Alright, let's do the back. She's a character who wears a cape. We all know how I feel about capes. Not a huge fan. Feel like, oh, that's actually kind of perfect, that one. Is there one with just 1 stripe around the rim instead of 2? I mean, the 2's fine. You can just change 2 pieces to the same color. No, let's go with embellished. Embellished is perfect. Okay, cape done. That took all of 2 seconds. And for some reason, I skipped over chest. Let's do chest, okay? Okay, let's start at the top. She's got mostly purple with a strip of white down the center on most of the styles that I can see for her, even when she's got the jacket rather than the cape and top. So let's just aim for that.
I'm done. No more clicking.
That one could work. It's I don't think the white goes quite so wide across her hips, but T-slimline might work. It might work well enough at least. I think we're getting into things that look a little bit more clothy and a little less superhero-y, but that's fine. We just won't use them. Oh, we could use the trench coat. No. We've got the cape on her. I don't want to waste the back piece. And, I mean, if I'm going to use a coat on her, it's probably going to be Retribution if I have it available, which I'd be surprised if I don't. Okay, so T-slimline looks like what we're stuck with. All right, that's the closest. It's not quite right, but we're getting there. Now, the gloves I want to use are going to be the ones that are also available in-game. So let's pick something close enough for here. And then I will probably, and let's be honest, I'm going to swap everything out. We're going to get out of here and we're going to change the style because I can't help it. I really can't. It's so much fun. I will say for the most part, when she's wearing gloves that aren't the Retribution ones that I'm thinking of in-game, they tend to be quite plain. There's a couple where her fingers are exposed, so like the biker, but I feel like that's kind of pointless with the top we've got on because, one, it's too bulky for her. She has very skin-tight gloves, and two, it's got a lot of texture things going on at the back that's not actually something that she has, and we can see that her fingers are blue. You know, we can see the top through, so that's a no-go. So we need to pick something a little more simple, but long and skin tight. She even wears ones that are very similar to formal. Maybe we should go formal. That does cover up a good chunk of that stripe on her arm, which is not seen in the style that I'm currently trying to do. There are other styles that she has where she's got like a shape across her chest that does flow onto the arm as well. But for what I'm emulating right here, we're going to go with the formal, I think, because it's skin tight, looks like a continuation of what she's wearing. And she does have a couple of gloves that go like this, not always though. She does have some that have like a lot of tech on the back or armor looking on the back, so I'll probably put that on in-game also. Waist is next. I hate the belts. I don't know. Let's go from the top. In most iterations that I've looked up, she has a belt with pockets around the sides. I hate these belts on the female characters on this game. I don't hate them in general in life. I think, you know, practical, they can hold a lot. I just don't like the way they look on here. But that being said, we're going for accuracy, so let's find them. I think not interlocking is going to be correct. Let's have a look. Hang on. No, not quite what I'm looking for. There should be two. Multi-pouch is definitely one option we could go with, but she doesn't have a pouch at the front. She has a buckle. So if there's one with a buckle at the front like this, like Parliamentary, that's definitely more accurate. There should be one other, Simple Utility. There they are. So it's between Parliamentary, Simple Utility. I feel like I'm going to go with Parliamentary. The front looks more like it would have a symbol, and she does have a symbol on the front of her belt. The Simple Utility doesn't look like it. It looks more like just a buckle. So we'll go with Parliamentary. I also like the way that one sits a little bit more than this, I think. Yeah, Parliamentary we'll go with. Legs! The style I'm going for her pants, there are a lot of options, but because I've picked one particular iteration to try to get this style to look like, which is the one I like the most besides the Retribution style, I will say, but she has pants. So there are options for Huntress where she does not have pants. I'm not about that life, you know? So we're putting pants on her, and they are just a solid black color in this style that I'm looking at. So let's attempt to find something with not much texture, kind of like this, where we could potentially make it all black. See, now that's got a little bit of texture down the side. We don't want that. We want it to be as smooth as possible, preferably not a different sheen to her top. I don't want it to be shiny if her top is matte. So we're going to try to aim for matte, and see that could work. And not a lot of texture. So Combat Slimline might be the go. I feel like Ice is probably going to be the one. No, that's got too much shine on Electric. Flames. No. Shiny. Oh, Ice. See, it's got a little bit of a sheen to it, but I mean, we're going to cover up her feet with boots, right? So we won't see the little bit of texture it's got down there. We'll just see the trousers, which could be put onto black. They do kind of match the gloves in texture there, but not the top. So let's just keep going and see if there's something better. Too shiny. What's that? Pyramid Slimline. I mean, we could... What's that bit on her waist? Okay, the bit on the waist at the front there, that's slightly annoying, but I mean, this is another one where we could cover the feet with a boot, but also this has a seam down the front. Don't like that, not accurate. I mean, we could change that all to black. I will say, I think this, yeah, that's shiny down the side. No, I'd rather the Combat Slimline. That's, no. Too baggy. What? No. No. It's getting into this stuff I'm probably not going to use. I mean, see, we could turn that to black too. Right? But it does have some seams on it that may be visible. I'm not sure. If we turn it to black, will it be visible? I'm not sure. But it doesn't look like a superhero trouser, really. It looks like, you know, something you wear out. It says stylish streetwear. It's streetwear, guys! What does streetwear mean? You wear it while you're walking down the street. I don't know. Combat Slimline wins. That also has a bit at the waist I don't like. Not gonna win. We're just going with that. We're going with that for now. Okay, feet. So the style I've got, she does have boots. And they go up to her knee with like a knee pad on. So let's see if there's something like that in here. If there is, I'm not aware of it because I tend not to choose those sorts of boots. So if it's available here, I probably have ignored it because I've not made a style where it's been relevant thus far. So let's have a look, see if I can find something like that. I'm wondering if parliamentary might be that. I'm not sure. See, that's a bit short, but that also could work, but it's the wrong style. Like, that would go with a different style on there. In fact, this one's better. It's just a little short. That shape on the front is something she has. But, no. Nothing. There's nothing that goes up to the knee the way I want. So we'll have to find that in-game. But for now, we have to pick something relevant, which I feel like is going to be this. It's just from a different style that she's had. So I think we're going to have to go with that one, guys. She looks kind of stupid right now, doesn't she? Okay. Color. I think her skin is... I mean, she's a bit more pale. She's as pale as I am. That one, maybe? Hair is definitely black. Yes! Beautiful. Her eyes. That is a good question. I don't know her eye color. Let's look it up. Once again, a character with blue eyes. How unusual. Stop turning your head. Thank you. Does anyone else think it's a little bit annoying sometimes when they're moving, when you're trying to choose between two different items and you flip between the two, but they keep moving? That's you know, don't do that. It's not helpful. Okay, her makeup is black in most of what I can see here, and on some occasions purple. I approve. Okay, suit palette, we want black, purple, and white. There we go. She looks weird because we can't adjust our swatches in the way that we would like. Also, I want my color wheels back, and I don't like the swatches that they have. I have to keep fixing it in game all the time, but fine. Okay, it's name time. Huh! No way! Huntress Helena is available, guys! I'm a little surprised, but I'm not going to complain. Okay, let's play. And we are going to skip the tutorial. I've done it many times before. Let's just go past that, shall we? Of course we shall. We're here about character creation, not about gameplay today. That sounds wrong when you're literally playing a game. I mean, it's still playing a game, right? Oh, that was faster than I thought. Okay. Okay, so the very first thing I'm going to do, just so that I don't forget, is I'm going to put in the codes that I do every time I start a new character. Normally I don't do it the very first thing, but I want to check it because someone who was in the comments section on one of Multiverse's live that I was present for said that the Seize the Throne code had ceased to work for them. So I'm going to input it and see if it still is working. We could not redeem an item with the code that you entered. If you feel that you received this message in error, please contact support. So I can see that it has not worked for me as well. So perhaps this is one that has expired or something like that. Let's test Face Your Fear. We could not redeem an item with the code that you entered. If you feel that you have received this message in error, please contact customer support. So they're both not working for me. This is the first time that these codes have not worked for me on here. So I don't know if they have discontinued or if there is some kind of a glitch or error. I will check the last code as well, which is Happy 13 DCUO, and see if that one's functioning. We could not redeem an item with the code that you entered. If you feel that you have received this message in error, please contact customer support. Okay, so all three of these codes have not worked for me. I don't know if that means there is an issue or if that is something that has been discontinued recently. I would have thought if they were discontinuing them, they would have let out some kind of an announcement to let us know, but these devs haven't been letting us know a lot of things sometimes, so I don't know, guys. I hope that they are supposed to work and this is just some kind of a glitch. All right, I'm just going to do all of the things I normally do when I first start. Collect exclamation marks, collect everything that's currently in my marketplace that I've purchased from on other characters previously to see if anything is relevant for this character. All that stuff. So, future Laura, do the clicky thing. You know, the clicky thing would be helpful right now. Thank you.
No! No more clicky thing for you.
Okay, so even though the Face Your Fear code did not work, the Forge Metal Chroma 1 was still in my collectionable items from the marketplace that I've previously received. So potentially, guys, if you're using the Face the Fear code and it doesn't work, but you have used it previously on another character, it might be in there for you to collect anyway. But I did not receive the items from the Seize the Throne code or the Happy 13 DCUO code at all. So those ones definitely have not worked at all. I am done! So, this is where we started, almost. It's almost where we started. I did put a piece on her chest that is not the same as what we started with. So, her chest piece has swapped over from, I believe it was T slimline to segmented flexi suit. The reason I have done so is because the shape is a little more accurate for Huntress with the white panel down the center of her top and not going around her waist like the T slimline one was. And the problem with it though is that the white section is actually silver, even though obviously I have used white for the color for it. It's a metallic kind of texture. So I was tossing up between, do I pick something that's closer to the color or do I pick something that's closer to the design? I went with design and then I adjusted her emblem to be white in the center there so that there was still that white being drawn through the middle, even if it is not the specific shape. And I do quite like it. I've left the hair, I've left everything else as it was when we were in character creation, because I feel like you can create a pretty accurate representation of Huntress through just general character creation. I've also chucked the Violet Slim aura on her, so that it highlights the purple quite a bit. So I'm pretty happy with that. I just left everything else as is with the exception of her top and emblem colors.
Plus, the ruined hood has been removed.
Then, of course, I had a little bit of fun. The next thing I did was, of course, grab the Retribution style, which is Huntress's style. So let's put that on. Now, some of this is not correct. So there is an enhanced, she's wearing enhanced Retribution. I've tried to get the colors as accurate as I possibly can for it. But, and obviously I have chucked on an aura around her because it looks cooler with an aura. The belt, however, I have removed. So this is what the belt looks like. Okay, so this is the enhanced Retribution belt. I don't think it's wrong. I think it suits the character, but not in this style. In this style, I don't see her wearing much of a belt at all. In fact, the coat, if it could be correct, would be sitting lower on her hips where that split occurs, and would have absolutely no belt underneath, as you can see. So I kind of wish that the way the cloak actually sat, or jacket sat, was more accurate to the character. Even if you put a belt on it that doesn't really go with it and we can remove it, I don't know. I much prefer the way the coat actually sits, which is much lower on her hips where the split is. So this is okay, but I would much prefer something a little more accurate. Another thing I dislike about the Retribution style is the hood. I don't think the hood is inaccurate to the style of the clothing, but I do think that her hair is visible in basically every iteration that I can see of her. In no case is her hair completely hidden like this. Doesn't matter what hairstyle I put on her, it is not visible with this hood. Also, the hood connects around the neck here. In most things that I find, it's connecting a little bit wider so that her hair can flow through. So I feel like this is just a little bit lazy, and I'm not really happy with the hood used for Huntress like this because it just doesn't seem correct or right. Everything else that she is wearing is the enhanced Retribution, so that is her hood, her chest, her legs, her back, her hands, and her feet. It's just the belt that has been removed. And the shoulder pieces, I'm sorry, I should have said, and the shoulder pieces have also been removed. So I will show you what they look like. I have used them on other builds that I have here, but when I look at Huntress's design, there's nothing there. It's a nice, clean shoulder. So I'll show you the piece. Okay, so this is the shoulder piece of Enhanced Retribution. It's got a little bit of a glow on those white bits that you can see, but it's not accurate. So it is accurate to Huntress, just not this design, not this style. So I don't know how many people are aware of the new kind of change that they have made to the NPC of Huntress in this game. I'm not a huge fan of that style. I feel like it's a little bit silly, like where the gaps are in her clothing are kind of silly. What she's wearing doesn't make a lot of sense to me. So I don't like it very much, but I have made a style that I feel is as close to it as I can get with what I have available in here. But those shoulder pieces kind of go with that. not with what she's wearing here. So with the removal of the shoulder piece and the belt piece, I feel like this is accurate, with the exception of the split being in an incorrect position on her coat and her hair not being visible. I don't like those aspects of it, but it's not horrible. It's okay. But I did, of course, mess with it a little further to try and make it look a little bit more like her. I'll show you what I've done, and then I went right off the rails and made one that looks nothing like her, but I feel looks really cool. Anyway, next. Okay, so there's a design of her outfit where she has panels that go down the side of her top, but an exposed stomach, and she's basically running around in panties with a belt that has like extra straps that go down. I wanted to get a belt that had something that strapped down further, so the only thing I could really find was this knife, so that it made it look like the straps are kind of going down a bit lower. I don't have anything that works better than this. There's a couple that raise off the hips too much and just look like they're floating and kind of stupid, but they do have the crisscross, but I wasn't happy with any of those, or either of those. I believe there's only two. I also have changed her black color to the darker blue color that is used quite a bit for her as well. She's got like a very, very dark blue and then a purple and then the white. So I changed it on this one. I didn't do it on all of them because the black makes the purple stand out more and I like it a little bit better while I'm playing this game. Not to say that I think that black is necessarily the correct color for every iteration, because a lot of them don't have the black. So with this top, I was trying very hard, okay, to find something that, one, had white that I could put on the top, but also had her stomach exposed. I don't have anything. I don't know if it exists in the game or not. I ran through a couple of vendors having a look. I couldn't find anything that was appropriate. So it was once again a choice between, do I want the colors to be correct or do I want the style to be correct? I leant more into the style. So unfortunately, the actual style does not have these long sleeves, and it is quite short like this, but it has a white cross symbol that goes across her chest. Couldn't find anything close that also exposed her stomach. So this is what I'm choosing. It's as close as I could get. I have also chosen the headpiece. It's called, I think it's Vigilante. Let me just double check. It's called Vigilante's Justice, and I felt like it was also kind of accurate to some of the iterations that I can see of her character. So I'm not 100% happy with this build, but it's because the stuff that I need isn't available, not because I'm unhappy with my choices. I also chose the Thrall of Ekron boots because they have that little strip of different color at the top, which is what I wanted to try to match some of the boot designs that you can find in here. And she's also wearing, I believe it's the net leggings, because I couldn't find a pair of panties that I liked that were just a plain color. So briefs I felt was a little bit too exposed, you know, just a little, not enough fabric going on. And a couple of the other ones had too much bulk or were too large, or the colors weren't doing what I wanted them to do. So I went and I grabbed the net, and I've just changed that net color to a skin color. I don't love it, I don't hate it, but it's the closest I could get. So even though I don't think I've hit the nail on the head with this one, I do think I got close enough that people are going to know who she is and what it is that I've tried to do there. So, it's okay. This cape specifically is Jarker. There are others that I have also used. I'll go through them as we go on to the other characters, but there's quite a few that you can use that's appropriate for her, because her cloak is basically the same on everything. It's a solid color purple usually, and then white is always the border of that cape. So that worked for me. All right, so we'll go to this one next, just because this is the one I was trying to do kind of at the same time. Okay, I have... I also grabbed the botanical hairstyle. I was going to grab the magician hairstyle. I don't think either one is more or less appropriate for her. Her hairstyle is basically similar to both of those. But the magician one cost 525 to unlock, and the botanical cost 350 to unlock. So I went with the cheaper version. It is my preference because it's actually the hairstyle that I tend to have most of the time. That's my hair. So that's that. I've also played around with the colors of her mask on this one. I made the purple more prominent because she does have it in black and purple depending, so I went with the purple on this one. Now this was me attempting to find something that could do the white paneling on her the way that it is on her character. But I couldn't find it. I couldn't find anything really close. I went to the Fate vendor and I bought the Gotham Knight style. A couple of other items from Gotham Knight I have also used. So this is also Gotham Knight gloves that she has on there. I'm pretty sure this is a different cape as well from Jack Her. Just let me check. Same cape, guys. Same cape. Sorry, my bad. She also has, I think it's called Fire Starter Belt. So something I like to do when I can't find a belt that I find appropriate for a character and they do have an emblem available, I tend to go straight to my Fire Soul belt. So you can still purchase this at the Quarks vendor, I believe. It's one of the few belts that puts the emblem on that you have, and I really like it because it's just the section at the front. So as long as I have a style that you can put a color that makes it look like there's a belt on, all you get is the buckle. And I love that because then belts look like they are actually sitting flush with the hips of my character, because it's something that I dislike about a lot of the belts is they don't seem to be flush on the body of my character. And I find that frustrating, because why would a belt just float in the air? It wouldn't. So I chucked that on, not particularly for accuracy, but so that I could use her emblem. And I was already out the door of accuracy with this one. I mean, the chest piece clearly is not appropriate. It's as close as I could get to get the white panel across with what I have available on the Switch. But the paneling on it, like, I was going to make it purple because the majority of her suit is purple, and then she's got the black or the white for the highlights, or that dark blue color. But the paneling on it is so prominent that it looked very, very wrong in the purple. You could see far too much texture, and I wanted it to look slimline, so I stuck with that. I haven't changed the boots a great deal on this. I've kept the enhanced retribution on almost every single build, with the exception of that Thrall of Ekron that I used on one build. And the boots that I started with on my previous build. There's also a build that I made that's a little bit quirky, that's not accurate to the character, but is what I would do if I could mess with it a little bit with what we have in here. So I'll show you that too. Okay, I'll swap to the build that I like the most so far. Now, I am fully aware that the accuracy has gone a little bit. One of the things I dislike about the enhanced or non-enhanced retribution style is this white panel's texture looks grey and a little messy to me when it's white. You can see little flecks and things. It looks a little dirty, and I dislike that. And I know that it is inaccurate to have purple as her prominent color, but we all know how I feel about purple. And also with this particular jacket, I dislike it in white just because of how it looks so dirty. So I swapped the colors around so that I was predominantly purple and black. I have thrown on the Psycho Jester shoulder pieces because I wanted her emblem to be seen. Same again with that belt piece. It is still the Fire Soul belt piece that I have just left black so it doesn't look like she's got a belt at all. I mean, unless we get to the side a little bit and you can see light reflecting, but it's supposed to look like her emblem is just on her. I tried to do trousers to start with for this because personally I prefer trousers on my characters. Every now and then I'll use something else, actually quite a bit more often I have, just because of how it goes with other things. And this is one of those cases where I had trousers on and everything I was doing with them I didn't like. I didn't like it as much. It just seemed like, I think it's the shape of the cloak. The cloak seems like it's opening up for a reason, right? Right at her waist there. And I thought it looked a little odd with the trousers. So I went with something that I do use quite a bit, which is, I think this one is the sheer net stockings, and I've got the purple on the stocking on her leg, and I don't think it's inappropriate because she's wearing a coat, you know, we're covered up, it's fine, and I loved the boots still, so I left them on. So this is what I would have done with the colors myself, and I understand if people are like, that is wrong, and you're doing it wrong, and I agree with you, it is wrong, but I'm allowed to have some creativity on my own characters, you know, and I don't think anyone would be confused about who she is. I think it still looks like Huntress, but it just looks like Huntress a little more purple and a little less dirty, which is very sad to say, but kind of true in my opinion. Okay, then I had one last build. Yes, I know the accuracy has gone completely out of the window. I don't think a single item on her is retribution or indeed anything that we started with in trying to make her look like herself other than the mask. So I have kept the mask and the hairstyle that I think best suits her. But then I went like, what if she was, you know, in a different universe where she's gone really evil or was somehow influenced by the Joker or Two-Face or something like that. And then that's kind of what I went with. So we have Laughing Knight chest piece. We have the Psycho Jester shoulder pieces again. Gotham Knight for her back piece. I wanted to get away from that bow and arrow and the cape that we've used so many times. I've got the DC Bombshell Harley legs and the Psycho Jester feet, I think. Hang on, let's double check. I often mix up Psycho and Psycho Jester. I don't know why, because they are very different from each other. So you'd think I'd get it right, but no. It mixes up in my head, and then I'm not sure which. Okay, Psycho Jester. Psycho Jester on the boots. And Laughing Knight is the belt around her waist. I will say I'm a little disappointed in that when there's a glowing piece in the Laughing Knight, that purple comes out a little more blue, and on everything else it's a little more pink. Even on the shoulder pieces where it's glowing, it's still the right pink color. So I don't know what's up with that, but that's a little annoying that they're not the exact same color. I could potentially use up another swatch to create a purple that's more pink so that when I put it on here, it would kind of match. So maybe that's the resolution that I need. The gloves that she's wearing are Apocalyptian Amazon. It is one of my favorite pieces. I use it very, very frequently because I like the asymmetry of it, and I feel like it looks cool. Right? I wish it came in an enhanced version. But yeah, so that's what I did. Out of all of them, I think this one is my favorite build, but not the most accurate. It's just the most fun. I don't know that people would know who she is the thing, even though her name is Huntress Helena. I think they might look at it and be like, what on earth is that girl doing with her style? We don't know. I feel like this one still looks enough like Huntress that I'm pretty happy with it, even if the colors are a little bit wrong. So I don't think people would be too confused. So that style that I have on the end there is something I might save for every now and then, or maybe at Halloween wear it and put some extra things on it that make it a little more creepy. But yeah, I'm happy with what I've done. I will say this took me more time than a lot of builds. The only build I know of that has taken... I'm not pressing any buttons. Hello? Okay. The only build that I have done that I know of that took longer than this is 7 of 9. Every other build I think was faster. This I was like scrolling through every single item. It got really fiddly, especially when I was trying to create this one here, because I just could not find what I wanted for her chest. It was really frustrating, but we got there in the end. And I feel like people will know that that is Huntress, but I do think that this build here, where you're just straight up using everything that's Retribution, is probably going to be the most likely for people to go, oh yeah, she's Huntress. But the hood is frustrating for me. The chest piece is frustrating for me in more ways than one. Hood, need to see the hair. Chest piece, the white looks dirty, and the way that it sits on her hips is incorrect, and I don't like it. Yeah, maybe I'm too fussy, I don't know. I would just like to say thank you so much for the 600 plus subscribers. I appreciate you all, you're awesome, and I'm really glad to know that people are enjoying my content, and hopefully if you're looking to create Huntress, this was helpful. I actually don't know how helpful this is. This is the first time where I've done a character creation and I'm disappointed in my end results. And I don't think there's anything further that I can do other than try and get more pieces in-game that I don't have available. But I will say on this game, I have the most pieces available, and I still couldn't find anything that was appropriate. So I guess I'm not too sad, because the style that I was trying to match for Huntress on a couple of these builds is a style that I personally don't like. I think that the panels of her suit, where it's got panel down the side and then an open stomach, is stupid, and running around in panties with a belt that's kind of not attached to anything because you're in panties is so silly. I understand why they do it, but that doesn't mean I have to like it, you know? So I'm not too disappointed that I don't have that style available for my own sake, but for the sake of creating a video where I'm trying to show you how to make Huntress, that's not helpful, you know? Not at all. I will say though, it is very fun creating characters. I did have a good time, even if it was laborious, scrolling through all the different style items that I had to choose from. It was fun. I always enjoy creating characters, which is why I save them for milestone celebrations, because it's something fun to do when something fun has happened. It makes sense. Anyway, let's pop her to bed. I did create her a bedroom. got like that little bit of gray. I don't like it. It's subtle, but it's there. And it makes me feel like she should wash her top. I don't know. It's probably just me. I don't know. I'm a little too fussy, I think, with some of these things, I will say. There we go. Time to tuck her in. I do think it's kind of nice that I've created another character where I'm going to lean heavily into her weapon combos and things like that, where I'm actually going to be using precision. So that's a rare occurrence for me. I have only created one other character where I'm doing that, which is Katana, because her name is Katana. You know? But I feel like that's something I should be doing with this character also, so I will be. And I can't believe the name was available! Right? Okay, I'm done. Have a good one, guys.